We are now just around a week outside of the first ever Call of Duty League season and its first opening weekend. And along with that, everybody, I could not be more excited. But breaking news out there, Atlanta FaZe, supposedly dominating those professional scrims out there, has been widely talked about over the past couple of months, ever since the reign of Dallas Empire. It seems that right now the two kings of the top are Dallas Empire alongside Atlanta FaZe. And by the way, Atlanta FaZe, brought to us by recent news, apparently are the talk of the town over the past week or so of utter dominance and potentially being that solidified number one team. The first time we talked about this was the Deserto debate between Hastro and Deserto owners, Mike Kemp being one of them. Of course, in that article, if you guys did miss that, it was actually Chicago Huntsmen ranked number one, Dallas Empire number two. Behind both those teams, what is Atlanta FaZe, who apparently as of right now is dominating everybody. Actually posted by Preston First many weeks back, he talked about how he felt like the best player in the world until he played against Atlanta FaZe. Also, Seattle Surge Joey, that being their head coach, he talked about just how good they are, kind of reaffirmed how good they are, and even Slacked mentioned and actually hyped them up the most of any player out there, saying they are by far and away the best team in Modern Warfare. Now, Clayster is also taking to Reddit about this to try and combat it, because we do know as of right now, seemingly by scrim results and online results only, it's the Dallas Empire, it's Atlanta FaZe, far ahead of anyone else, and Clayster kind of doubled down on that with a couple Reddit replies as well. And on top of that, we did hear as well the last week of scrims when Atlanta FaZe did face off against Dallas Empire, they were going map for map. So it does seem very clear right now. We look at the top two teams, it is those two. Brought to us by Nameless just though last night is the apparent win streaks by Atlanta FaZe, and it's pretty insane. Over the past few days, I assume maybe over the past 5 or 6 days, because I believe it was actually last week when Dallas Empire and them went map for map. Ever since then though, a 52 plus map win streak followed by one loss and then another 40 plus map win streak in scrims, all by Atlanta FaZe. The one loss apparently supposedly going to be the Surge, and holy mother, if that is actually true, that is very, very dominant and very good signs for a FaZe Clan team who is now separated from the FaZe Clan initial roster, because during this whole weird time of, FaZe Clan still being tied to Atlanta FaZe, actually holding that FaZe name, meanwhile Envy and Dallas Empire is their offset team. I don't know, it's still a weird debate which was never answered as to why FaZe is still a thing, but Atlanta FaZe looking dominant nonetheless. And of course, there were a slew of pro players and Dallas Empire members being many of them who responded about this, wondering why, right? Obviously making accusations towards slide canceling, abusing that, and snaking around as well. Even being probably hosts of the internet can also make a huge difference when it comes time for online play. We've heard many pros already assess this kind of thing. Many teams out there already moved in to one solidified location. Better internet does actually influence a lot of the results out there. And of course, cohesion can be a big thing as well if you're sitting right next to a lot of your teammates out there. So I think that's what Clayster is trying to accuse them of here. And also brought to us recently by Scump as well, we see many teams snaking and slide canceling and using some in-game mechanics which seem to be a bit broken. It was actually during their scrims against New York where this happened as well.
Pillars again. One bullet, Trey.
I got him on time.
We're a week away from competition, and that is still in the game amongst a slew of other things we have seen pros complain about. I am worried. Okay, I'm not the only one worried about this, but more so than that, I'm actually just super excited to see these teams compete, and we can actually solidify who is better than who and who shows up on LAN and not just online. I will leave you guys in the wise words of Scump and Hector when they first called out the Dallas Empire of why online results don't mean everything, because LAN is where it counts.
Everyone's like, wait till LAN. And they're saying that for a reason, because they're very hard to play against online. They're 5 based out of one state with very good internet. Texas has always been known for super good internet. I mean, they're very, very good, but at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter until it's proven on LAN. And I mean, you can't blame, the people watching and stuff, because that's all they've had to judge or base off of. So it's like, you can't blame them, but everyone, like I said, all the pros and stuff that actually play the game every single day and play on different hosts and different connections against these pro players, it's like, we know best. And that's why a lot of people, always say, like, online doesn't really matter and LAN is where everything counts, because everyone's on a level playing field. People can get nervous. There's a lot of different factors that go.
A lot of different factors.
But again, they're really good.